If you're wondering what you should put on your baby registry that you will actually use, watch this video because Roxanne and I are going to share our experience as experienced moms and birth workers of what you will probably actually use after birth. Hey, I'm Gina. I'm a perinatal fitness trainer and birth doula and mom of 3 with baby number 4 on the way. So this is very relevant to me because I'm trying to remember what I need to dig out of my crawl space and or repurchase for my 4th baby and hopefully final baby.
And I'm Roxanne. I'm a labor and delivery nurse and student midwife and mom of 3. And I recently had a baby 7 months ago, so I just did this 7 months ago.
So the top things that we would include in our baby registries are the things that we would gather for our postpartum period, and know that within each category, the item within it may differ from person to person based on personal preferences. Is one going to be something to hold my baby in on my body, so a baby wearing device, some place to put my baby down so that they could not be on my body and work on their motor skills, so like a play mat, car seats, also a stroller, so things to move my baby around, again, not on me, but within my vehicle. Things to feed my baby, so tools to help with either breastfeeding, with formula feeding, with pumping, and then also something to help with babies like baths, so cleaning our babies so they don't have like all that milk gunk in their folds all the time.
As well as diapers and wipes, because every baby poops in peace. Can almost guarantee it.
I will guarantee it. I will guarantee that your baby will poop and pee. So now we're going to break down each of those categories and considerations that we each had when it came to choosing specific items within each of those groups. So the first is some sort of baby wearing device. And so for me, it's really helpful to be able to put baby on my body because one, it kind of helps soothe them. They're close to you, so it helps with bonding. It can also really help with breastfeeding. And then it also frees up your hands so you can do things. What can I do with my hands? Lots of things when I'm baby wearing. So for me, with my newborns, I really like the wraps because they're really soft. They're really adjustable, but they can be a little complicated to like figure out. So
yes, very complicated.
If you've got like postpartum brain fog, we're like, what is math? The wraps might not be a great option for you, and you may prefer something like a ring sling, which is you just kind of pulling fabric to make it tight. So it's still really adjustable, but really helpful with like a newborn baby because they're really supported in there. After my baby's outside the newborn phase, I really like structured carriers, and I've tried a whole bunch of different brands, and my current favorite is Secura Blooms. It's really lightweight, so it's really breathable for both me and my baby. I'm not sweating. And it's really easy to throw in like my diaper bag or my backpack, and it doesn't take like a ton of room. And they're very pretty.
Very pretty. They have beautiful like leather, but not cheap.
They are not cheap, but they do have 2 different options. And so things that you can consider is whether you want a structured carry with a waistband or without a waistband. Typically with like a small baby, you want a waistband carrier because it's going to be more supportive for them. But as baby gets a little bit bigger, you may want to consider like a waistless one. So like my husband, who is a big guy, prefers to have the waistless bands because they're more comfortable on his body. And so we use like Infantino's baby carrier that's just like a back strap. And that one was like $20 for the carrier. So that could be something to consider if you're wanting to baby wear. What type of carrier do you want to try? And you can also join like a baby wearing group, or you can ask friends to try on carriers because they do get kind of expensive and you do start collecting a lot of them. So like if you have like a bunch of friends or people that you know that are within this phase of life, they may have a bunch of carriers that you can try.
The next thing that we're going to be looking at is where are you going to be able to put baby down where baby can do some floor time, because floor time is so beneficial for their development to like learn motor skills and like build the muscles up to be able to roll and crawl and all of those things. But having a designated place for them to like be can also be for safety because there's other siblings, there's animals, there's other people walking around your house that may not be like looking at a baby on the floor. So having like play mats can be really beneficial. Also, the hardwood floor is not super comfortable. So having like a cushioned playmat can be really nice. 2 playmats that I really liked with my postpartum was the Love Everyone, because one, it has like little toys that they can look up. It has like the wooden piece on the top to also be like a barrier for if someone's walking, they're not gonna just walk into this barrier that is surrounding a baby. But I also really liked that they had on their playmat all of these little things that as baby got bigger, they can play with, like a mirror that they can look at, a place where you can put like black and white cards and like sensory strands and stuff that you can add also on top of the little like wooden brackets above baby. You can baby can grow with it I think for up to the first year of life and beyond, because you can make it a tent. The other play mat that I really liked was the Etta Loves one, because one side is like high contrast. It's still cushiony, but the other side is more colorful. So like babies only see high contrast for the first like 4 or 5 months of their life. And it helps like with their eye development. And then once they're starting to able to see more colors, you can flip it to the other side that's more like bright and colorful colors. And again, it's cushiony. So like I can put it on the floor and it's not just laying on the hardwood floor. It's also really easy to travel with that one. So that was the one that I would bring to the gym with me, or even to Gina's house, because I took her playmat. So she didn't have one at her house.
And we'll link all of our favorites down in the notes as well, so you don't have to be like furiously taking notes. Like, we've got you. We got you.
So not everybody can just put their baby on the floor as well. Well, but if you have animals, or if it's just not a safe area in your house to be able to just put your baby on the floor, that's obviously not the best option for you. There are play yards though that you can utilize to still be able to give baby that floor time. So they're on some sort of floor to be able to build that development, but in a safe place. So using pack and plays, or like there's so many play yards out there that are like easy to assemble. I think there's one that's like one-handed assembly, which is key for motherhood, because like you do everything with one hand. There's so many out there that can be really beneficial that you can also utilize for like other things like sleep.
So something else that you want to figure out is, where is baby going to sleep? Are you going to use a bedside bassinet? Are you going to start with a crib right away? Are you going to grab a crib like 6 months down the road? Is baby going to sleep in bed with you? And setting up a safe sleep environment. And so you might want to just experiment with what type of bassinet that you want to get if you want baby to be in the room with you. And then you can wait to get a crib later on when baby needs like a higher surface to not be able to crawl out of. So like right now, Joan is like able to crawl out of her bassinet. And so a crib is going to be a really good option to just keep her safe at night. And so figuring out like what type of bassinet you want to get can be really helpful as well.
So we really like the Newton bassinet, because it's one that has like where you can zip down the sides, and baby, it's like a sidecar for your bed. So there's that type. There's also the Halo bassinet that will go over your bed. After the bassinet, it's really only good for about the first 6 months though, because once baby is pulling up, they're going to pull themselves out of the bassinet to the floor. So that's when you start looking at the cribs. The cribs though, there is the mini cribs if you have like limited space, as well as the full size cribs. So finding the crib that kind of works for your life. But if you're not about the crib life, then there's also bed sharing, and there are safe ways to bed share.
And we'll link a resource in the notes below that discuss how you can safely have baby in bed with you, because there are some things that you do want to consider for safety reasons. The next thing that we want to think about is, how are we going to get baby around? So car seat and first stroller. And there's so many different types on the market. So you can start with like an infant seat that kind of clips in and takes out. That one's nice because if baby's sleeping, you can just take it out with the infant seat. And then also that seat can buckle into different types of strollers as well. There's different like converters to like put it into different types of strollers also. You can also start with an infant or a newborn with like one of those 4-in-1 or 5-in-1 convertible car seats as well, which is what we transitioned to around like 3 or 4 months with our baby, because I think that there's more cushion in them and it feels like more comfortable than like an infant seat. Also, my children are very long, so they're just kind of like
feet
weird inside the infant seat. And normally when I'm getting out of the car, I'm putting baby directly into a carrier, so that I can then push like a shopping cart or something. So taking the infant seat into a stroller is not usually like something that I'm trying to do, but it can be really nice to have that option to like move baby around. So a lot of folks will come to the gym with an infant seat and they just bring that into the gym. So if their baby is sleeping, or they have a place to put their baby while they work out until their baby wants to play with something else. The other thing that you want to think about is, what type of stroller do you want to get? Some car seats do come with their own stroller system, but typically those ones are like a single seat. And so if you're planning to have more children, you may want to consider getting one of those modular or like grow as you go type strollers as well. So like some strollers have like different pieces that you can add on. So like Up a Baby, for example, you can have like a single seat, you can add a double seat, you can add a kickboard. So as you have more children, you can just kind of throw them at different places. So there's a lot of different like modular stroller options as well, which is what I wish we started with, because we got like a bunch of single strollers and then they were useless as soon as we had our second kid, because everybody wants a seat. So I would start with like a modular stroller if you're planning to have more children. If you're planning to just have one, the single stroller is totally fine.
So with the stroller, finding one, if you are getting that infant car seat, that goes together. If you aren't getting one that comes with the car seat, can be really helpful. So a lot of them will have those adapters, as Gina said. But the next thing that we're going to consider is feeding. How are we going to feed your baby? Because that is something that we all have to do. Whether you're choosing to breastfeed, formula feed, or breastfeed by exclusively pumping, there are different things that you're going to need. So we both exclusively breastfed by latching baby, but I also needed to go back to work. So I needed a pumping setup. So for me, I had a breast pump that I needed, as well as all of the pumping supplies that you need. So bottles and bags. Whereas if you're formula feeding, having formula on hand ready for when you get home from the hospital is really beneficial, so that you do not have to run to the store when you're 1 day postpartum. Not ideal. So having all of the things that you need for formula. There are so many things with formula, like the bottles, obviously, but also like things that will shake the bottle for you and mix it all up together for you. But having that readily on hand, as well as if you're exclusively pumping, having the breast pump, as well as all of the bottles for that. There are so many things out there for like breastfeeding that are really helpful as well. So immediate postpartum, having something like silverettes or nipple balms, because you're not used to having a baby latch onto your nipples for, every 2 to 3 hours for 20 to 30 minutes, and it's going to cause some discomfort. So having the silverettes, as well as some nipple balm and nipple pads, because I would have I leaked a lot. I fire hose milk, and I would just leak through my shirt. So nipple pads were really great for me. And then the nipple balm on the nipple pads in there would prevent my sore nipples from sticking to my bras. So really great things to have on hand for breastfeeding, and things that you can register for and get from family and friends.
In addition, your insurance probably covers a breast pump as well. In addition to breast pumping supplies like the bags, some of them will come with like a breast pump bag as well. So figure out what your insurance covers. And there's so many different online portals that you can use to order a pump as well. And all you need is a prescription from your midwife or your OB. Next, again, we can guarantee that your baby will poo and pee. And so figure out what type of diaper system that you want to use, either disposable diapers, and there's so many different brands out there. With the disposable diapers, you'll need certain sizes. And sometimes if you don't open the box, you can return that size to get the next size up, because the babies rapidly grow. And so usually you'll do newborn for a short period of time, 1 for a short period of time. And then I found size 3 is where we kind of stay for a longer period of time, because baby's growth is not tapering off, but not as rapid as it is in the first 3 months of life. You can also do cloth diapering, which is a reusable type of diaper. A lot of folks get really intimidated by that, but I found it to be not too bad. There's different systems that involve with that. I really like the Assembly Baby one because it comes with outers, which were waterproof, in addition to an inner liner as well that didn't slide around. And there's so many different accessories that you can start getting with those as well, especially as baby hits the 6-month mark and their poos start really stinking. When they're newborns, not too bad. So trying to figure out what type of system you want to use, either disposable or cloth diapering, can be really helpful to figure out what you want to register for as well.
And with diapers, you can always create, instead of just registering for different sizes, a lot of diaper companies now have subscriptions. So there's so many subscriptions. Hello Bello is the one that we utilize for our kids, but there's Coterie and Honest. They all have these subscriptions so that the box just arrives on your doorstep with wipes and you don't have to think about it. But you can have a registry for gift cards for all of those different subscriptions. So people could contribute where oh, I'm not going to pick the size that you're going to get. You will pick the size, but I'll pay for that 1 month or 2 months of that subscription so that you can get your diapers. Or again, what Gina said, where you can exchange them. So if you get diapers in your baby showers, you can bring them back to the store that they were bought at and exchange them for the next size up, which we did. The only thing with that is you need to know where they were bought from.
Things that I did not use with diapering, though, would be the hard changing table, the actual furniture piece. I just had the pad and I would move that around my house. If I needed it on a higher surface, either doing it on my bed or on top of my dresser was a really good option. But the actual piece of changing table furniture was not useful for me, because it was always in a stationary spot. The next thing, diaper warmer or a diaper wipes warmer.
Yeah. I used it for a month because I was like, oh, her poor butt. And then I think I forgot to charge it and never charged it.
Yeah.
And then it just sat there.
I did use one of those diaper genie things though.
Oh, yes.
To put the diapers in, because they're really stinky, especially after 6 months. But it was also really helpful when we were cloth diapering to have a specific place that we were putting all the dirty cloth diapers for laundry. So I did use one of those like Diaper Genie type things.
Yeah, I really liked the Diaper Genie personally. And even like that was good for so many years until they're potty trained. So a Diaper Genie keeps your house like poop smell clean because it contains it all in the little Diaper Genie. So Diaper Genie I did use, but wipe warmer, nope. I will say I used diaper rash cream a lot because my kids all got really bad diaper rashes, especially once they started introducing foods as well. And with their tongue ties, they just had more acidic poops. And so diaper cream, highly recommend having a bunch of different types because every baby kind of likes a different type of diaper rash cream I found. But it was really nice to have it on hand because in the moment of a diaper rash, especially if your baby is like screaming as they're like trying to wipe off their poo, having it already on hand and not having to run to the store to get it can be really helpful. Next thing, we're going to have to give our baby baths. Like your baby needs to get clean. Not every day, but like they need baths at some point. And everybody kind of does bath time a little bit differently, where some people will get like that infant bathtub to put inside their bathtub or shower. Some people will only do showers with their babies, or they'll get like these little like foam pads that your baby will lay on in either a sink or the bathtub. Or the other thing is like this little foam pad that your baby can lay on in the bathtub. So finding a way, like the container or system of how you're going to give your baby baths and clean them can be helpful, as well as having the baby wash. You can buy special washcloths for your baby. I found no other use for them once they got bigger. Just using any washcloth that I had on hand was what I found useful. The muslin ones are a little bit softer and now is what I use on my own body. So they kind of worked out, but that's really only the things you need for bath time is a container to put your baby in, maybe softer washcloths if you want to get fancy, and then obviously baby wash. You don't need to go out and buy like a bunch of infant, like those hooded towels, because once your baby is bigger, they're not really going to utilize them and then they're just going to take up space in your cabinet. You maybe could get one because they are really cute with a little like teddy bear hoodie, but like I really don't utilize any of them that are in my cabinet. You can use your own towels unless you want a special towel for your baby.
So hopefully this video was helpful for you to figure out what type of things you may want to consider registering for that you will actually use. There's so many things that are listed in all these baby registries. Like Amazon has like 85 different categories that you can register for, and it gets really overwhelming and then also very expensive. And then all of this stuff just takes up a lot of space in your home that you may or may not end up actually using. And so hopefully this list helps you kind of figure out like what to consider, and then you can figure out specifically like within each category what items may be your preference based on your individual family's needs. And so we'll link all our favorites down in the notes below, and we'll also link our Amazon list of like our favorites that we personally use during our motherhood journeys and what I am planning to use for baby number 4. And if you found that there was something else that was super helpful for you that we did not mention, be sure to comment below so that others that are watching this video can get more ideas of things that they may want to consider registering for. If you want more support during your pregnancy besides just what to register for your baby, join our online prenatal fitness programs and online childbirth education course, where we show you daily workouts to move confidently throughout your pregnancy that are filled with exercises that help keep you strong, help keep you pain-free with our pelvic stability and core exercises, and then also help you prepare for birth with our pelvic opening and pelvic floor release exercises. Then you can pair with our online childbirth education course that's going to teach you the science of birth, like what is actually happening, what are your options when it comes to birth, and how can you navigate your labor. You can check out our prenatal support options on our website at mamasayfit.com. And you can use code YouTube10 to not only get 10% off our prenatal support classes, but also our postpartum and professional education courses.